Don't allow this forced quarantine to stop your career progress. In this video, we're going to go over some tips of ways that you can continue to be effective and continue your career progress while a lot of us are stuck at home and working from there. Now, if this is the first time that we're meeting. My name is John Good, and on this channel, I like to spread my passion for cybersecurity training, tips and tricks, and give you career advice to help you get further in your career as well. If you like the video, go ahead and make sure to smash the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe as well as the notification bell icon so that you don't miss future content. And make sure that if you have any questions or comments that you leave them down in the section below. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, this is not the normal video that I was going to actually go through. I actually have another video that I made, but given the fact that the whole coronavirus and a lot of us are being quarantined either by ourselves or we're being forced into quarantine and forced to work from home, it just kind of made sense to go ahead and make this video. A lot of people are not used to working from home, or they've never worked from home. Maybe they barely have worked from home and they're just not, really aware of what it's like. But first and foremost, I just want to make sure that everybody is doing okay out there. I hope you all are safe and healthy. If you are wherever you're at in the world, go ahead and let me know down in the comments just what it's like where you're at. What's changing. I know that where I'm at, a lot of people have gone to either working from home or they just aren't working. For instance, in the hotel industries, a lot of those people are just laid off or furloughed, meaning that they don't get to go to work. But I know a lot of other areas that are not in the United States, especially, are being forced into quarantine. They're not allowed to leave. And even in like California in the United States, people were put under order that they could not leave their homes and they had to stay in place, or shelter in place is what they were calling it. But yeah, let me know down in the comments section what it's like for you wherever you're at. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but we're just going to go through some of the tips, and hopefully these things can help you as you're going through this tough time. So first and foremost, we're all in this together. We're going to get through this. This will be something that passes, especially as a vaccine or a solution to this is, discovered or created. So try to minimize your stress whenever possible and really just kind of try to make a solid routine, since a lot of things that we normally do are going to be very different. You're not going to be able to go out to, restaurants or wherever. It's going to be very limited, especially trying to get groceries and things like that. So just try to remain calm. We'll get through this. It will pass. So as far as the tips, I kind of went through and thought of some things that when I've worked at home before have helped out. In my current job, I don't really get to work at home, but with the things being how they are now, I'm getting to go back to doing some of that. So it's just, you have to really think about some of these things and really proactively plan how you're going to approach your workday, because it can be pretty easy to get distracted when you're at home. So let's just go ahead and go through some of these tips and we'll see where it takes us. So one of the first tips that I have is waking up at the same time and keeping as much of that morning routine the same as when you were going to work before as possible. So some people have flexible hours that they can work, but ideally, if you were waking up at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, let's say, when you were going to work, keep that normal routine. Chances are you're not going to be going out to, a restaurant or something like that the night before, staying up late. So you really want to keep that same routine. Keep your body in that same habit, right? That way you're really focusing your mind on that same routine. You're not saying, oh, well, I'll just do this later. And then, one thing leads to another and everything keeps getting pushed off. So keep that same routine. Now, the second tip is use your calendar as much as possible, and you'll probably use it even more now to keep you on track than you would before, and utilize time blocking. So, what does that mean? Well, time blocking is a strategy where you basically decide blocks of 30 minutes or an hour, 15 minutes, whatever the case may be. And on your calendar, you just go put in a block on your calendar for that specific activity. So that way, if somebody tries to schedule a meeting during that time, or you just follow your alerts that come up on your calendar, that way you can stay on that progress. Now, that's a very useful strategy and something that you really should be using in general anyways, but especially when you're working from home, it's very easy to get distracted. And if you have those reminders, those calendar events, then that can remind you as the time goes, okay, now I need to do this activity, or I need to run these reports, or whatever the case may be. Now, the next tip is to make sure that you're taking breaks, especially every, 30 minutes or an hour, depending on you. Some people like to take them a little bit more frequently and just take a shorter break, but make sure that you take breaks. It can be so easy to just sit in front of your computer for hours sometimes and just keep going and going and going. But if you make sure to take those breaks, get up from your computer, walk around for a few minutes, walk away from what you're doing, and then come back with a fresh mind, that can just be so refreshing. And especially at the end of the day, if all you're doing is staring at a computer screen, your eyes are going to hurt, your head's going to hurt. It's not going to be that comfortable. Whereas if you walk away for a few minutes at least, then you just come back and you just feel a whole lot better. The next thing is to avoid working on your couch. It can be really easy, especially if you have a laptop, to go work on your couch or work on a lazy boy or anything like that, some kind of really comfortable chair. The problem is when your body is very relaxed, so you're sitting on your couch, your whole mood and work ethic kind of goes with that. So if you go lay on the couch, your productivity is going to go down. You're just going to kind of go into that lazy mode, if you will. You really want to avoid sitting on the couch. Get a good ergonomic chair in your house or your apartment and sit on that, sit at your desk, somewhere where you can just sit there and be in a comfortable but work focused atmosphere. The next one is make sure that when you're ready to eat lunch, let's say, go away from your computer. Leave your work area. Do not eat from your work area. When you actually go to work, it can be different because, there's other opportunities throughout the day to kind of walk around, move around your building, things like that. When you're at your home or your apartment, you're much more confined to a certain space. And it can be very easy, like I was saying with taking breaks, it can be very easy to just get locked in and, laser focused, or, well, at least focused, and, just sitting in one spot for a long time. If you go and you eat your lunch at, a different table or somewhere else in your house, it goes along with the whole break idea. You're just you're giving your mind a rest, you're giving your eyes a rest, and you're letting yourself just kind of recover and refresh for the rest of the day. So eat food away from your desk. The next one is you want to make progress on studying if you have some downtime. Now, depending on what you do for a job or where you work, some jobs are going to be more hectic than others. Especially if you're not used to working from home, say your company doesn't allow it normally, well, there's going to be a lot of things that are not going to be normal or that might not happen. Maybe in your normal job, you interact a lot with users face to face. Some of this interaction might not actually take place, at all. It might take place over something like Skype or the phone, but it's possible some of this just kind of goes away. People either don't, have time to do the interactions, or they're focused on other things. They're trying to adapt to their new situation. So, especially because you're quarantined at home, most likely, making progress on studying when you have downtime is extremely important for your career. If you have a few minutes where you can read a little bit or, study for your certification, something like that, look at your notes versus watching like a YouTube video. Unless it's mine, of course, you want to, really take advantage of that extra time that you have and study for, whatever you can. Obviously, get your job done, and that's the primary focus. But, there's a good chance that in these times, you're going to have a little bit more downtime, just how it is. So, as far as the tips, those are the major ones that I could think of, and things that have helped me in the past with working from home and keeping me very focused and feeling honestly very refreshed. So, the question that I have for you is, what are you going to study while you're on quarantine? Let me know down in the comments below. And just to let you know, I'm still creating content that's going to help keep us getting through this period and pressing forward. So expect to see more content coming from me because I'm still pumping it out. Like I said, this was not my originally intended video that I was going to release, but given the times, it made sense to go ahead and make this. But again, I do have more content coming, so be ready for that. Remember to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and go ahead and comment down below if you have questions, or, like I said earlier, let me know what it's like in your area of the world with this quarantine and everything with coronavirus going on. And subscribe if you like my content as well. And if there's nothing more, I will see you next time.